Hello friends, it's Mr. Mark here to do some kid writing. Everyone can be a writer, everyone can learn to write. Today I'm going to show you how to use the room to help you spell words in your writing. Today I'm going to show you the family tree, how to use the family tree. If your mom or dad or your teacher or someone puts up a family tree, you can use the family tree to spell words in your writing. Before I show you the family tree, I wanted to share some people in my family with you. I have some pictures here. This is a picture of my mom and dad. This is a picture of my mother with some of my nephews. I live in Pennsylvania. My nephews live in Washington State. This is a picture of my grandma, who's no longer alive. It's a picture of my grandma. It's my father's mother. And this is a picture of my grandpa. He's no longer alive either. It's a picture of my father's father. That's my grandpa. And I can put those people on my family tree. So if we look on my family tree, the leaves on the tree are all the people that are important to me that are in my family. So you might see grandma or abuela or pappy or grammy or gammy or mother or father or dad or sister up here in the leaves. Mother, mom, father, dad, papa, all the different names for the people in my family. So when I go to write, if I write about people in my family, I can use the family tree to help me spell words, because I often write about people who are important to me. Those are the people that are in my family. So what am I going to write about today? Well, I'm going to write about my grandma and my grandpa. And I'm going to just say, I love my grandma and grandpa. And so I'm going to get my piece of paper here, my kid writing paper, and I've already done my picture plan to save a little bit of time. I've done my picture plan. So here's a picture of my grandpa and my grandma. They live in the country, so I drew a tree, and down here I have some grass. Over here, they live in the country, my grandma and my grandpa, and maybe I just want to draw a heart up here because I love my grandma and my grandpa. And that's what I'm going to write today, friends. I love my grandma and grandpa. And I know how to spell I. It's always capitalized, so my sentence starts with I. I know how to spell love, L-O-V-E, love. I know how to spell my because I've been using my room and there's the pie of my up there. I know it's spelled M-Y. Now, grandma is a long word. So right now I'm going to use my magic line to hold its place. I love my grandma, and I know how to spell and, A-N-D. Grandpa, that's a long word too. I'm going to use a magic line. There's my period at the end. I love my grandma and grandpa. These are big words, grandma, grandpa, and let's say I don't know how to spell them. Well, I can use the family tree. I just take my piece of writing, I go up here and I find grandma and I find grandpa, and I can use those to spell my words. I see that grandma is G-R-A-N-D. It's got a little word in there. And, and, A-N-D. Just like there. And then ma, M-A. It's also up here on my family tree. I love my grandma and and there's the little and again, and pa is just like ma except with a P, and it's also up here on my family tree. And my kid writing today says, I love my grandma and grandpa. And when an adult comes by to check my writing, the adult's going to say, wow, you spelled every one of those words correctly. And if they would ask me, where did you find grandma and grandpa? I could say, well, I found them in the family tree. Maybe I would also say I used and grandma and and pa. But if I didn't know how to spell them and I didn't know how to use that strategy, I could use my family tree. What are you going to write about today, friends?